Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Lakeside Showdown 5. It has been a long, arduous, and incredibly action-packed day here at Scrims Esports Center in Ogden, Illinois, where this LAN has been taking place. 8 teams entered, and now only 2 remain. It's going to be quite the time. And as you can see, people have already been having quite the time. This has been going back and forth. So far, our most dominant team in the standings being the IWU Titans, coming in last. Battle for the Midwest 6 going up against Oakland in the finals, fell just short of attaining their win in Battle for the Midwest. Will they be able to get it today against this Naperville North High School Huskies team, who has just been making the losers bracket run of a lifetime here? They went out in the first round, and ever since then, they have been going crazy. Let's go ahead and take a look at this roster here. And as I said before, this is a high school roster. The vast majority of the teams coming in here, actually 5 teams that came into here today, were all collegiate teams. This is the only high school team that ended up coming out today, and they have since beaten 2 teams that have signed up that are not collegiate, and that have also beaten another collegiate team as a result. So, it's been quite an action-packed day. Taking a look at the IWU Titans, our most dominant squad so far of the day. These top 500 beasts have shown their face in prior tournaments, many prior tournaments with Kaiju Corps before, and have made many run-ins into the grand finals. This is going to be just another one added to their list. But as I say that, we are going to get going into one of the maps soon. We have a fun little map pool that we have set up for you all today. It's going to be a little bit non-traditional. We're starting with Flashpoint from the choice of the IWU Titans, as they have not lost a single map. But since they made the winner's bracket run, they did get to pick their Flashpoint map, and it will be Sravasa. And from there on out, it will be loser's pick. This is a best of 5 matchup, so everybody stay seated, strap on in. We're gonna have a wonderful time with you all here today. And I can see these players are already starting to get ready into their map, which is wonderful to see here. This is going to be some pretty intense action from what I've seen so far. The Huskies, I feel like, have been an incredible underdog coming into this tournament, only placing seed 7. Seed 7 has made it all the way to this incredible space, to the point where they can now call themselves top 2. There's prize money involved. They've gotten it secured in the bag at this point. But the real question now is, can they seal the deal against one of the most dominant teams that have been inside of the Kaiju Corps, I suppose, lore, you could call it at this point. And if you could hear that, it's the banging on the tables coming out from the Titans. They're ready. They're seated behind me. I got the Huskies seated right in front of me. Let's hop right on into this action on Sravasa. We're locked in here with Buki. Now, Flashpoint moves rather quick. You don't want to blink. You might potentially miss a team fight go down, or maybe even 5% if you're not careful. Setting up right now. It seems like 2 rushes, similar compositions. Junker Queen coming out on both sides. Buzz Lightyear forced out that Wraith. That might potentially mean that IWU Titans have to take some sort of a break here in order to get back in. But the wall is placed from IWU Titans. They find a nice sectioning off of Kozuryu, who's incredibly low. The dive comes through, but it's actually USS Robot that gets picked off first. The names here are switched for the teams. NHS Huskies are on the right with IWU Titans on the left. Apologies for this, but it seems like the Titans have taken their first point. Will this dominant streak be able to continue in the future? We'll find out. No ultimates that are really coming out online right now. However, these Kirikos are getting very close to their rushes. I imagine they're going to come on mid-fight. And it's really going to get down to, if Puppy Cat can get this lane down prior to the Huskies even having this ultimate, it's going to be detrimental for the IWU Titans to be able to get this out early. Staging up on the fight right now. They have to be careful. Potentially Exo could dive in here onto Klonkpog, who's low, and that's almost what happens exactly. Just takes Clunk bug out immediately. There's no lane even being committed right now with the Suzu out, and as I say that, the lane out for Puppycat sealed the deal on the rest of the fight. They mirror over each other, but the best is going into the favor of the Iru Titans, who only had to invest, though, as I say that, just one ultimate into this fight. And it seems like they're being rather dominant here, to the point where 90% is already ticked on the board. It's pretty much just been 2 fights, and that's just Flashpoint for you in a nutshell. First point's going to go over to the way of the Iwu Titans, who now have an incredible ult bank to be able to work with around for their next point. We also have a swapping come out from Buzz Lightyear. She's going to swap on over to that Sojourn. Sojourn's been a very big meta hero as of lately. You can see Wavy running on it, and Exo with that blade. This DPS combo ult might be a little bit too much for the Huskies to handle, considering their ult economy right now in comparison. And Clonk popping the beat just a little bit earlier, just in response to Wavy actually popping the Sojourn ult. Exo just finds the perfect moment to pop a blade right out of that, and with that, 2 players from NNHS Huskies fall right away. UX's robot still wants to get this fight in, though. Many players are antied right now. This Junker Queen is going to town on the point, and Puppycat's down. That's such a detrimental matter for the Iwu Titans. It is evened out, though, and with that evening out, as long as that support is off the field and it's been evened out, pretty much there's no way, unfortunately, for the Huskies to be able to come back after that. What a great effort coming out, though, from USS Robot. Unfortunately, though, no ultimates on the side for NHS Huskies. However, same could be said about Iwu Titans. Puppycat's getting eerily close to that rush, so it seems like these Kirikos could be back into the same place that we were on first point. Staging right now for this fight are the Huskies. Speed boost is engaged, but there doesn't seem to be too clear of a commitment coming in here from the Huskies, potentially trying to play on the back foot right now, and Exo takes advantage of that, diving right into Buzz Lightyear. Great pick off to start, and this chaos is continuing to reign with the Suzu out and a lane coming out here for the Huskies. It is just an all-out brawl. Many ults layered over on top of each other. Counter lane comes out from Iwu, as well as the beat. Sorry, counter lane from NNHS Huskies, as well as the beat from the Titans. But that ultimate that just came out from US's Robot, anti-ing so many players on the side of Iwu Titans. There's no chance for them to be able to stand anymore. Just in the nick of time, the Huskies have managed to capture the point. 10% and climbing, but they have to hold on the entire time, and with that means they have to ultimately withstand the ultimates that are going to come out from Iwu. They could potentially decide to accrue them and just continue to build them up here, but if Iwu have been ult tracking correctly, they should know that with Kurzu and Exo's ult, they overpower the Huskies right now. If they just moved fast enough, they could potentially be banking ult here for another fight, but if this goes too long, that could come back to bite them. But Puppycat takes out US's Robot, potentially the most important member of the Huskies before anything can even happen within this fight. And with that, despite NNHS Huskies' best effort to get that point, going to go ultimately into the favor of the Iwu Titans, who are now 2-0 up in this flashpoint and moving over to the next point. What's even better for the Titans is they were able to save that Dragon Blade that they have left. Unfortunately, there's not too much to combo it here from the Titans. However, it doesn't look like the Huskies have anything to deal with that beat. They could potentially decide to invest their Sojourn ult along with the Blizzard into this to try and keep the Genji at bay and away from their backline, but that's pretty much the most they can hope for outside of a very nice place spell from Karmlab. So we'll see if she'll be able to do that. The Blade is out, does take out Karmlab. She's not able to get out the Suzu in time. Does take out that Blading Genji, but unfortunately the damage has been done. And Iwu Titans are going to take the third point to come on. This is a nice reset point here, though, for the Huskies. You can take a look at that ult economy when comparing the two right now. Iwu Titans are sitting pretty much dirt cheap with nothing. Wavy and Puppycat will have their ultimates coming online pretty soon here, but will they be able to survive an onslaught potentially to come out from NNHS Huskies with their 4? The big thing is that if Huskies don't layer these over properly, they could potentially not get the most out of their ultimates. So let's see if they space them out properly. Karmlab, she's leading with that there. Buzz Lightyear, it's the duo coming out here. Both hitting their ultimates. 3 ultimates used for the Huskies. Let's see if it pans out for anything. It should, if the fact that 3 ultimates you used mean anything. Wavy's going to try and get something done with it, though, combined with Puppy Cat's rush, but it's just not going to pan out into the favor of IWU Titans as of right now. USS Robot is dominating that space, taking as much as possible, and with that, the point flips over to the side of NNHS Huskies. Now, this beat, the beat mirror that comes out here for both of these Lucios, in my opinion, is really what's going to change the tide of this match. If Clonk Pog decides to stay disciplined and holds this beat in time for Exo's Blade, this could be a very nice pick for NNHS Huskies. Could be a very nice round win for them here, but let's see what happens. A beat comes out, USS Robot falls, and the blade wasn't able to get used yet. That's just one, unfortunately, from NNHS Huskies. The beat not being able to be used for the blade now means that IWU Titans have such a nice ultimate to get set up perfectly for this next fight. And if you don't know why I'm whispering, it's because the Huskies are right in front of me. Exo, Cursoryu, with their ultimates. IWU Titans have such a clear advantage heading into this next fight. But the Huskies only need 1 fight win to continue this map out. See what can happen. This percentage is ticking fast. Who's going to be able to touch 99? Just touches in the nick of time. USS Robot really making sure they get the most out of that. A good wall comes out. Sections off Cursoryu, who uses their ultimate to try and stay alive in this fight. It doesn't work, but has the damage been done with Exo's Blade out? Cornlash, she's down first. Not being able to use that Suzu whip against the Genji Blade is going to be detrimental for them. And being down the healer is not what you want in this situation. Puppy Cat breaking out the lane. IWU Titans might scrape out with this. The Huskies are holding on. They're not dying quite yet. And in fact, Buzz Lightning, she takes out Puppy Cat. This is a huge pick for them. But Mookie, the Lucio Warrior, completely gets them off a point. A great map win comes out there from the IWU Titans. Barely scraping by, especially with that 3rd point. And it almost felt like more that map continued, the closer the Huskies got to figuring out times. I mean, even that wall right there. What an incredible wall that came out. Ultimately, just not enough to stop the rampage. That is Cursoryu. However, it was quite a lot done there, and NNHS Huskies do not look hopeless whatsoever. There is a good chance that they could still come back into this. And guess what? That was IWU Titans map pick. So, now we're moving into NNHS's territory. This is their map pick. This is going to be ideally something that they're going to feel a little bit more comfortable on. There's 2 ways I feel like that you can really play around this. You have to choose a hybrid map. So you either have to choose a map that you feel extremely comfortable playing, or you have to choose a map that you think the other team is not going to do. And potentially this can be from scouting other players, seeing what they've been playing in the matches, or it could even come from just experience of playing within your own matches. They've seen IWU Titans at these tournaments before. They know what they play. Let's see if they're going to try and pull out any sort of shenanigans. However, just like that, I think you all knew what was ahead of us. We're heading over to Scrims Row, everybody. It is everybody's pretty much favorite map. I'm pretty certain it's the only hybrid that I've been seeing get run today, actually, which is, when Kings Row is played, it's a good day, quite honestly. So you know what? The more the merrier. Let's keep it building. And speaking of keep it building, we'll see if IWU Titans can keep this momentum building up for them along with it. Unfortunately, though, that does mean that NNHS have to really try and claw their way back up. So if you're an NNHS fan, really need to hear you right now. They need your voices. They need your support. And they're heading into their map pick as well. So we'll see exactly what they can do here. The thing about going into Kings Row as well is that Kings Row, I called it Scrims Row before I called it Kings Row for a reason. Teams love to play this map. It's crazy. They will always play this map. It is such a consistent staple when it comes to playing Scrims that it's just a map that every single team pretty much at this point is comfortable on. So we'll see exactly what comes out here. We do have NNHS Huskies on the left this time. It seems like they did a little bit of a side swap. So we have NNHS Huskies going to be going on the defense first here, actually. And now this is interesting. I've been seeing them play this Moira from Karm Lab all day on Kings Row, and the amount that it's been working has been incredible. I have to say, this Husky squad sometimes decides to roll out with these picks that aren't exactly on meta, but are picks that they're extremely comfortable with, and have since clearly been able to get something done. Make a Buzz Lightning taking a first shot there. EXO, they are not in this anymore. And it's a surge over US's robot just from one pick coming out there. Puppy Cat also having to use their immortality means the tempo from IWU Titans has been taken back and been put in the hands of NNHS Huskies, at least for now. Real gunshot from Wavy as the initiation comes through. Some space trying to be made. Wall, the counter wall. Very low. USS Robot right now. Karm Lab having to pump out all of the healings into their tank player. And unfortunately, Buzz Lightyear is not able to catch up because of his need to provide to their tank in that moment. Walls going up for both sides. It seems like the wall is coming out from the Huskies might potentially be able to split them a little bit better, but it closes out with the pick on the backline. Picks coming out from IWU Titans there. And ultimately, it's going to leave them there with that point capture. 5 minutes, about 15 seconds on the clock, and counting down. For NNHS Huskies, this is such an important area. If you have the spawns, you would really like to hold here at this archway. The ultimates are in the favor of NNHS Huskies, and ideally what the Huskies want to do is they want to force out from the IWU Titans without having to invest in it. And IWU knows surging forward. Now, you want the Huskies to come over after that choke, but the speed boost is out from Fog, and the back beautiful execution that comes out from the Huskies to take out the tank player from the IWU Titans. Now backing up are the Titans, and you have to respect the team that as soon as they lose a player, they just start backing right up. Wavy, though, wants to pop that soldier or potentially catch the Huskies off guard. Huskies are not phased, though. They seem to be holding on to their ultimates as much as possible. First, incredible for IWU. Combined damage mitigation, as well as constant damage coming out onto every frozen member just sitting there on the team. It's just a team wipe kind of ultimate combo that you see somewhat common. Now, the Huskies have a lot to decide here. Moira's ultimate comes back relatively fast, so within this fight, you could potentially get more ultimates because, like, you're down one ultimate, Wavy coming up on top in that soldier 1v1. Huskies are in a very precarious scenario right now as well. They have Wavy on this high ground, spraying down. Oh, it's the bait! Mortality will have for the better. The beat's going to USSL Robot. Ultimate at bay as well. It's still going. 1 second lasting an eternity for this Ramontra as it gets closer to more people. Back chaining their fists. What a wonderful surge out there from the tank player of NNHS Huskies, and Buzz Lightyear proving that she can come back into this, getting picked out first last fight. Not that big of a deal. Now surging back into this is the Huskies. But I will have done a good amount of pushing with this. And as far as ultimates go, it's definitely looking pretty good for the side of the IWU Titans. There are no support ultimates to be able to defend themselves here from Wavy, Sojourn, Ult. It's really going to be up to Not Vapor. Not Vapor can hit some incredible right clicks in the middle of this. They could be able to break their Blizzard out quicker than they expected. Wall attempts to just block off some of the damage that could come out from NNHS Huskies on the approach there. As they rotate around the side on the Huskies. Here for this. Wavy's up top. Wavy's in such good position. So completely flip the map, and the wall comes out. It's comes out, but it's a little bit deep. Doesn't catch the soldier who's sitting up top right there and breathing so much hellfire from it. And just like that, not being able to check the Sojourn with the ultimate will cost the Huskies that fight win and ultimately actually net Iru Titans a team kill. Going into third point, and now it's 3 minutes and 10 seconds left on the clock to complete the King's Row map. Now, I should elaborate, we, throughout the day, have seen many instances of King's Row getting completed and going into those overtime pushes that it is so known for, but also known for incredible goals towards the catch on to this. Farmlab is down though with your support down. Wait, he just takes out 3 players. What a Goliath freak of a player. I have a very clear objective to be able to take care of one fight left of losing the toe and Huskies are really having so much shit out and just speed in, try and get rid of a player as quick as possible. The tank player falls, it's not gonna go there. Boom! What an incredible timing for the Lucio player of the Iru Titans. Their tank player alive. And even if that beat was just going to sustain them, it might not have cost them the fight win. It would have ultimately led to a fight, and with that, that could have been another potential nail in the coffin for Iowa. Wonderful, wonderful push coming out from the collegiate squad here. They really want retribution for Battle for the Midwest 6.
Switching sides.
A minute 48 on the time bank for the Titans. The Huskies, they're gonna out a good push here. They've been doing relatively well when it comes to these King's Row pushes and defenses, actually. So, this offense could look better for them, especially when they have USS Robot being very declarative and leading that charge into there. It seems to be going very, very well for the Huskies, so we'll see if they can break that out.
Ready for battle.
Now, something that I was also noticing a lot with the Huskies is that just with the way, if you have a Moira and you play a Moira Lucio, sometimes it can be a little bit difficult when you have multiple people who are low on HP to determine which target you actually have to heal up within the moment. And sometimes you could just be caught between a rock and a hard place. For example, there were many times where US's Robot taking so much damage that Moira's not consistently pumping the heals out onto that Ram. That Ram's gonna die. But then at the same time, you would unfortunately see, for example, another player on the Huskies, such as Not Vapor, Buzz Lightyear, any of them, also falling low, and as soon as that happens, you have to make a split decision. Do I keep my tank up and try and lead the push with them, or do I just kind of let the DPS do what they can do? It's a hard decision to make, but the Huskies have to be prepared to do it. As the counter walls come out, pretty nice start coming out from both these teams here. Actually, so wonderful first start here for the Huskies. Eating the charge in here for Iru, or should I say disengaging the charge more like it is further. Wavy tries to bring this back in. Incredible work for the Iru Titans on Sojourn. Farmlab, though, switching off of the Moira, and this is something that I was looking into even mentioning prior to this. Now without this Moira in play, this could start to turn things around pretty heavily for the Huskies. And I'm honestly very curious as to why they enjoy to see Moira on defense. I think it seems like a genuine strategy that's coming out for them. So there must be thought process that's really starting to get through. It seems like the attack. They definitely prefer Baptiste. And you can see these mirror windows come out. You can see why Baptiste is so strong right there. Iru Titans just erasing the Huskies within an instant because of that amplified window damage. And even though the windows fell out pretty much at the same time, a really big part about playing around the window is actually calling to your team that you need to use the window, and then your teammate, if the window's going out, actually getting yourself into position to deal as much damage as possible as quickly as possible. These May walls are continuing to bisect off these teams. Exo taking out Knock Vapor. Swan is in the spawn point right now. And quite candidly,
Hello.
this is not
Good
a
to see you.
terrible spot to hold if you have this kind of Mei Lucio extremely fast setup. You learn exactly where they're coming out. You can see whether or not the Huskies are going out on the bottom side or they're going out, sorry, through the hotel side, or if they're going out through the main statue. In a tow for Fog as well could potentially just be what they need to push through. They need to just break out of this spawn, and it looks like they're going to try and avoid that. Exo falling, having the May advantage in this, being able to close off and tank with absolutely no repercussions is huge. The players are going to the players alive with the Titan, so with the good instincts actually manages to take down a couple of players thanks to the damage mitigation and just general damage done by that ultimate. It's not going to lead to a fight win for the Titans, and the Huskies are going to get on point a little late, but the Huskies did exactly what they needed to do in that situation. They broke out that frustrated choke point, and that choke point can be extremely dangerous. It didn't seem like IWU Titans were using it as much as they were opting to go for more of a spawn camp setup, which, as you can see, can sometimes be a little bit difficult with a well-timed speed boost. But Huskies are breaking through now, and with both DPS ultimates, they have a little bit more firepower than IWU Titans coming in this fight as well. Speed boost available here for both teams. See who makes the move. Looks like it's going to be IWU Titans in the long range to a Blizzard diagram. This is crazy. But have the most players that aren't affected by it. Great Franklin, two coming out there from Exo to try and balance it back to the favor of the IWU Titans. Just like that, it's gotten so much closer. But with USSR Robot finally finding the ending pick there on last Titans member on point, the Huskies are going to be going with a very similar time bank that IWU Titans had coming into this point, almost 4 minutes on the clock. And I said that we've been seeing a good amount of Kings Row overtime pushes today. I was not kidding. This is another one with the window coming out. It gets them around the choke point, but it's not going to give them much control of this longer stretch, especially with ladies jumping up with their Sojourn ultimate, just completely able to ignore the geometry of the May wall there. There is no damage being mitigated there, unfortunately, with Wavies up top. That's something that I've been seeing a lot happen from IWU. It seems like Sojourn ult is an incredible asset for them and has been netting them an incredible amount of value. The fact that Wavy is able to just consistently be able to jump up, get a vantage point over the get a vantage point over the Huskies, and view them from as far as they might possibly need to is huge for them. So we'll see if Wavy can continue this dominant streak here for the Titans. Robot. Ultimate here for the Rams. Wavy taking outright away. The only thing is to balance out is the Robot takes care of business. But Puppy Cap's not going to fall, at least until 4 other members of Huskies do. And that's going to be a wipe. The reset from the Huskies. Now, there's one ultimate, a couple ultimates here that I'm looking at. Clunkpog and Boot have their beats. The beats are mirrored, but the big difference maker for this is X. And it looks like Wavy's getting a ton of damage done too. Must have just landed a crazy right click up to 85 now with full DPS with toe. His firepower is rather strong from the Iron Titan. Wall attempts to separate it, but they siege through it. Great click from Wavy. Most likely were attempting to take the high ground away from the dominant Sojourn player on the Iron Titan. And it's just unfortunate that taking it right back like nothing for this DPS player. IWU Titans continue to hold on. A minute 30 left on the push for the NNHS Huskies. And what good discipline coming out from the Titans as well. Only committing Wavy's ultimate. And what's even more impressive is that Wavy actually got their ultimate last, as compared to the rest of the players on IU Titans who have their ultimates right now. So they were planning for that. At least to an extent where Wavy knew planning for that. Stormlab with the windows going to give them a good sightline. But the Blizzard's rushing right on top of them. This robot is surging forward to counter Blizzard. So well timed. A little ridiculous. I mean, it is not rare that a beat causes a fight to go into the direction of a fight win, but I feel like it is a little bit more rarer when we see the beat landing on those heroes that are literally down to their last block of HP. Impeccable timing that just came out. And they have trying to keep the score. Not going to work out their favor though, it seems. IU Titans that is instrumental to keeping this ultimate up personally, which is their win condition in this fight. Now surging forward, an overtime push coming out from the Huskies. Now all they can hope for is potentially a draw. But it could happen! Buzzlaker taking out Wavy too. The tides may be turning a little bit. The Huskies really have to capitalize on this now. Look at the wall. Not really separating the team player on the side of the Titans. Puppycat really wants to take this 1v1 with Buzz Lightyear. Wavy has a nice sightline here. Let's see if they can test it. Yes, this spring come out. Ultimate comes out from Wavy. The beams good from Lombard and the are layered over one another. The coalescence giving a good amount of space inside of the Huskies. Right under with the window. Wonderfully well placed from Puppycat to give an extreme boost of damage to their Sojourn. You might have just heard it back there. IU Titans take map 2. And what a match it has been so far. We've seen King Throw go the distance so many times today. Almost just saw it go the distance right there. What an incredibly close match that we have going on between these two teams. The scoreline might not show it. However, we do have a good amount of hype coming into this matchup. And with that, we're going to go ahead and take it to just a quick break. Take a little bit of a 5 minutes. Go ahead and get your water, get some food. You're not going to want to miss what could potentially be the conclusion to this match. Will IU Titans take it, or will NNHS Huskies pull the unthinkable and pull out the reverse sweep? Stay tuned, and we'll see you soon. everybody? Welcome back to Lakeside Showdown 5. We're in the middle of the grand finals right now, coming off of a losers map pick from NNHS Huskies. The Naperville North High School students have been pushing it to the max today to make the lower bracket run as the 7th seeded team to place either first or second, but they have a long road ahead of them if they want to take this match as well. And it's going to start here with Rialto, and it's not only going to start here but with Rialto, but if they want to end it with them, they're going to have to end it both with push and control map picks
One.
from IWU Titans. Let's see if the Huskies can pull out this reverse sweep now as we head over into Rialto. We have such a classic tank hero for this map in Diva, and a little bit more of a different hero in terms of Sigma. Both heroes very, very viable on this map. Sigma has a great reach with his hyperspheres, as you can see, where he could just corner check the vast majority of these players, and this is what Diva is the best at, especially when you have the Echo and the person coupled with it, being able to punish these flankers. There is no way that Wavy is going to be able to get set up like they were able to last time for free, and I think that might be a big part in the Huskies' game plan here. I think they saw that Wavy was getting away with a good amount in terms of positioning, and now they've rolled over to this somewhat incredibly mobile hybrid comp where the Sojourn can play with Karmlav. Karmlab unfortunately gets a little bit caught in the back there as Exo takes him out though, and that's just gonna fall down to Huskies like a house of cards. And from there, IWU Titans should be able to get this at least close to a first point cap. But I think that the Huskies are definitely within the right direction. If they can continue to plug the holes that IWU Titans are trying to make and force their way into, this could be good for the Huskies. It looks like they're not going to be going for a recontest though. Karlav dying so late into that as well means that she's going to get spawn disadvantage for this fight. This is not a wonderful sign, especially when you're considering you're playing up against the Sigma. The Sigma is going to have so much free reign to go over here and take this high ground now. It's just falling all down. You have to see the Huskies try to go for a big disengage here. The shining star, though, that I will say right now for this Husky squad has to be their ultimate economy. They're banking up so many, and I can see the IWU Titans are as well. This really has to be well thought out from the Huskies in order to survive this onslaught that's going to come out from the Titans as the cart reaches around one fight territory for second point. Not Vapor gets the first pick and introduce onto the Diva. It's a nice target to come out. In this context, you can either give it to one of the DPS or to your tank player, opting to go in for the Diva, not able to finish off players as quickly as they would like to. And that's kind of what you enjoy getting an introduced onto your tank so they can get their ultimates faster. But sometimes when you have more burst damage, it would be nice to nano that Echo. We'll see if that comes back to bite the Huskies at all. Yari ult coming out from Puppy Cat. Doesn't seem to be having the lasting effect that they want, but as I say that, Exo is going to be getting as much done as they can. The bomb comes out from USS Robot, rushing down this Baptiste, who is now pretty much out of the fight, and is now certainly out of the fight. USS Robot doing well work on this Devo to make sure that the teammates of the Huskies staying alive, but unfortunately, when I say teammates, it's just USS Robot in this case. As we take a reset back here for the Huskies, we're rolling in to third point, 2 ultimates in tow for the IWU Titans, and it's a doozy of a combo that they have at that. They have the Soldier ult, they have Mookie's window to be able to use right in front of it. They've been very good so far. Both Wavy and Mookie did this just last game. Might have been, I was actually Wavy and Puppy Cat who broke out, capped completely with King's Row with these 2 ultimates combined, and now Mookie breaking out the window. Wavy's not intending on using their visor just yet, and as they say that, pops it, potentially waiting for USSR Robot to get their DMAC out. And it seems like that's going to result in a team kill here. IWU Titans don't just full cap Rialto. They cap it with nearly 4 minutes on the clock.
Score.
A statement
3.
to
Switching
come out here
sides.
from the Iwu Titans. And it almost reminds me of the Titans of old that we used to see in the Overwatch
Initiating
League.
match.
This map in particular was a hotbed after San Francisco Shock managed to get one-upped by the Titans on their time bank. And we'll see if the Titans here might have the opposite happen to them. The Huskies are thirsty. They want this win. They want it so bad. So they're going to try hard for it.
Ready for battle.
Let's see if they make any sort of switches that could be coming out here, and potentially this is still getting worked out in the talking stages. We have Iwu Titans though rolling out here potentially with the Bastion as they inch their way forward and emotes out of spawn. So what I want to actually focus primarily on here though is going to be this Huskies comp. Now this was the Huskies comp that they decided pretty much to run on Kings Row defense. This Kings Row defense comp did end up working. It pretty much just had an issue where if there was two players that were falling low at the same time, it was extremely hard for Carmlav to be able to sustain both of the low players at the same time, similar to a way that a Baptiste might be able to do. You know, that stream could go pretty far from Moira, but when you have the splash damage, or with the splash with either Baptiste or even an Ana with the nade to get out multiple healing in a very short burst of time, it helps with them. We'll see if Carmlav and Co are able to take this up. This Moira could be their key to success.
A taste of poison.
Backing up though is Iwu Titans. They are not playing this as aggressively as they played the Kings Row point. And I think most likely that's because of this comp they're playing. Look at how pokey this Iwu Titans comp is. It occurs to you on the Sigma with Mookie and Puppy Cat on two heroes that can do extreme long-range damage from the support bracket. At least Wavy and Exo also have such potential to be able to get out long-range damage. The Helix rocket from Wavy, especially combined with the window from Mookie, can do serious work. But as I say that, Exo ends up falling. They're going to be the first down, and it's resulting in extreme pressure going under both Purview and Wavy. Seems like Wavy is not in a great position though. Tried to get a flank off. Unfortunately, not going to be able to get that done. USSR Robots switching over to this Ramatra is working in their favor. The D.Va came out last time, and I think that there was a strategy that came out when the D.Va was run, and that strategy was, okay, we had this DPS come out in the last game, just had high ground, had so much control over us, let's try and go a very individualistic flyer comp. See if we can kind of plug the holes that are being created by Wavy and Exo. They understand that it doesn't seem like that's going to work, and that Band-Aid almost like solution is not going to work as well as they thought. So they switch over to something that's a little bit more comfortable for them. And look at this ult bank. This is going to be a spicy, spicy fight. Especially with Cursor being walled off here. If the Sigma falls, it could be rough. Investing the Flux, what a win, what a limp to come out there to save Cursor from that. It's not going to save Wavy though. So much investing had to go into Cursor to keep the Sigma player up, which is extremely important. If that Sigma player is down, there's no way the Iwu Titans can realistically try and win this fight. We'll see if the Huskies can take this back a beat. Coming out from the Huskies, Long Pod falling so low right after the beat, but it's not going to matter. It looks like this second point is going even faster into the Huskies' hand. And now I said it not necessarily expecting that it was going to be almost a mirror, but there is potential here for exactly what I said right when the Titans ended for it to happen. Will the Huskies get a better time bank than the Titans? And I don't think that this is just a that's not just a, oh cool, we have a better time bank. That's a momentum shift to the Huskies. Getting that number to be bigger than the Iwu Titans number as soon as they cap it after losing it's not just about the principle of potentially taking the map and being an advantage. It's the advantage of having more momentum come back onto your side. It could light a spark under the Iwu Titans. though. We'll see what happens. Wavy takes out Not Vapor, the ultimate from Buzz Lightyear, though, and Carmlav. Both of these players layering it over each other so seamlessly, not too on top of one another, that it makes them useless. But just extending the time simply that the ultimates are coming out. 0.44 meters left, and there's many people on point. Oh, Klonkpog really has to stay healthy here. Not Vapor has the wizard to be able to use it. Does it look like they want to invest it though? Are the Huskies just going to get this point up? Oh no, the potentially could have been an error coming out from the Huskies there, not deciding to invest the Blizzard in the moment where the Titans quite literally needed to be on point. Unfortunately, I am seeing they did die early within that fight. Such a detrimental Blizzard to be able to use. Production giving me the lowdown on that one, and Klonkpog falling too. It's not necessarily the worst thing in the world here for the Huskies. They're not going to be able to get a better time bank than them, but it is going to set them back just a little bit longer. However, the longer that this waits, the longer ultimates start to come into the favor of the Huskies. Same can be said for the Titans though, and a big one is there for the Titans at that. Mirroring a DPS ult and mirroring the support ult in that beat. These beats are going to be detrimental. A Blizzard comes out, the beat could save them, and it does for just a little bit of a moment. Not Vapor will fall, but will the tank falling potentially mean more? If this Lucio falls, unable to speed this tank player back into the fight, that is huge. This tank player has to come back from IWU Titans to be able to get this recontest. Stop moving! The guard's not moving! The guard should have been moving this whole time. The ultimate is coming out here. Ultimately, from US's Robot to try and put the final nail in the coffin on this fight, and it will happen, it seems. The point gets capped. 2 minutes on the clock for the Huskies. And what a close one that we have so far. It seems like both of these teams are just very offensively oriented teams. We have an incredible sword going up against another incredible sword. There is no shields that's happening right now. I think it's why you see the IWU Titans logo lacks one. Now, since Huskies have 2 minutes left on the clock, they will be the first one to push. And on an S-Core map, I feel like it definitely gets a little bit less stressful than when you're on a hybrid. You have kind of that, once you run down the clock, you have that inclination that you need to get a tick. Draws are such a thing that you want to try in Overwatch and avoid if at all possible. It just extends the time, and especially with NNHS Huskies having to make some sort of comeback here, draw is not an option that they can take, and thankfully it's not really an option that can happen, thankfully that we're on Escort. But this leaves them with a little bit more room to potentially sit back, see what happens here, and the only unfortunate thing for them though is that this sets two unfortunate things, I suppose. They have less time bank. I think that's just a very clear thing, though. Didn't need to explain that much. Fortunately, though, they have as well is they give a clear win condition to IWU Titans as soon as this card stops. As soon as this card stops, IWU Titans have 3:15 to come out with a comp that works on attack, and they can just keep trying to throw darts at the board until one of the comps just ultimately counters the Huskies comp. But let's see what the Huskies push does first. I don't want to get ahead of myself. We got a Sojourn battle. No, that's actually a Moira battle. Carmlav and Wavy going at it right there. Oh, as I say that, the Sojourn battle does happen. Buzz Lightyear gets the better of it. It's been such a even Sojourn battle right now, it seems, in terms of mechanics going 1v1 up against each other. Wavy's been doing really well, though, of getting into these positions that it seems like Buzz Lightyear has not been taking as much advantage of. However, when it comes to that direct head-to-head, it seems to be fairly even. No ultimates on the field right now. Exo is starting to bank up a fair bit, though, and Echo is a pick that I feel like, don't see that much, and quite honestly, it's a very understandable pick. We did just see it come out for the last point of Rialto from the Huskies, but now we have Exo coming out, because Exo's typically been playing not Echo. Potentially, I could be wrong within that as far as the aspect of this whole tournament goes, but this fight at choke point is just breaking down so long. There's ultimates here from Ivy Titans as well. They're going to invest in Buki. Breaks out the window. The Huskies are not able to withstand this damage. It could be difficult for them, but it looks like they're doing rather well. And Carmlab breaks out with the Coalescence. In the midst of that, though, two players have traded. Puppy Cat needs no speed, no initiation here for Exo's ult to push in, but it doesn't look like he needed initiation. The Blizzard is going to freeze them all shut. No, not Vapor! Coming out with one of the most clutch ultimates that has happened so far in this matchup. No! Oh my god! Puppy Cat with a wonderful boop on the not Vapor. Ultimate coming out from USS Robot just to try and cap the points. And that point cap is so much more important than people may think. It gives that cart a moment to stop, but most importantly, it resets spawns, which means if I Titans want to win this, they now have to push at least past the first point. And that's a good moment where the Huskies can maybe at least take a breath. They know that they have two chances in terms of a harsh defense to be able to take this. Could potentially be more. We have Cruiser U up on the high ground, and it looks like USS Robot wants to break in. These mirror rush cops is such a war of attrition, using the wall to break in closer. Are the Titans punching away at each other? Are the main tanks? Beat comes out for Puppy Cat. Closer you doesn't seem like they got that beat. And Immortality did end up keeping them alive, but Puppy Cat with their beat keeps Pog unfortunately in the dust. Carmlab's using for Coalescence to try and break into it. If they can push past this and push past Mookie's wall, it could still be in their favor, especially if the soldier falls. But what great healing! I believe it was either a left shift or a right click that came out from Mookie to just keep their DPS player up there in the midst of that fight. Genuinely, if that Sojourn dies there from Iwu, it could have gone any way. But it ended up going this way with a wonderful push from the Huskies, making it just past that first archway on second point. And this is not, this is not one whatsoever from either side here. This is a very up in the air round that we have going on. We saw that both of these squads were very good on their attack. However, Iowa Titans, I believe, have either ran the Sigma or they've ran the Ran. So if the Huskies can think of a game plan that puts Iowa Titans on the back foot, they could get to it. And I think this is what they're going to be going for, is this Ram rush. You see, they ran this Diva dive comp to try and plug Wavy and Exo the last time, but it just wasn't working out too well for them. I think it requires so much synergy, and especially if you're not ready for it and maybe haven't been practicing it as much, it can be really difficult to pull off. So I enjoy seeing the swap come through. They seem to be more comfortable on this rush comp than on the dive comp. And the Titans are responding actually by breaking out a Reaper. So to me, that's pretty clear what the Titans have identified as a problem in the Huskies. Breaking out the, oh, well, as I say that, I need to stop saying things when they're in attack or spawn. If I'm being honest, I think I should have learned. You would think I would have learned my lesson by now, but hey, it's okay. Coming out with pretty much the same comp that we've been seeing. This is actually almost a miracle. Now this is where we're really going to see the difference from the BAP and Luke and the Moira come out. Is the Baptiste going to be able to just get more pumped out healing if the Baptiste can consistently keep this team alive for longer fights and wait until the Moira runs out of juice? That could potentially be their win con. No more juice means no more healing in the case of the Huskies. They have to get desperate when the healing runs out. So Ivy Titans, we see them playing it a little bit slower. They have that rush. They're coming up top. Playing right now is just a huge unit as both of these teams. Neither team really going down too far. He has that coalescence to be able to invest. It's 2 minutes and 20 seconds on the clock. This coalescence can get a pick. Ivy Titans are going to have such a difficult time to try and break out these first points. And just like that, the pressure that comes out, the healing coupled with the damage from Farmlab on that ultimate is too much to handle. And with that, the orb cleanup continues to take out the support line of Ivy Titans. A wonderful fight win coming out there from the Huskies. And now we're going to get to territory where if you're an Ivy Titans fan and they don't win this next fight, you might be a little bit worried. These ultimates coming out from IWU Titans, they practically have 5. But I think the bigger thing is, will IWU Titans be able to be disciplined and not use all of their ultimates in one go? Should they do that, they might be failing. You understand, there's multiple points they have to take of this. So we'll see how they layer over their ultimates here. This is really going to make or break determination of this map. I really enjoy how the IWU Titans have flipped the map here too. It's getting so much use out of Puppy Cat's ultimate. And look at that! They're just taking the ground underneath the maze. It's stationed on point from not Vapor. It's going to force a rotation coming out here from Huskies. They have to give up the high ground. And the Blizzard also has to be defensive just to stop them from getting on the point. Ultimate comes out from both sides. Going to be the Rambles and the Beats. But Robot doesn't end up committing the Ram ultimate into that actually, despite having the mirror beats. And potentially, USS Robot could be saving it. They might want to try and come back in for this next point. The ultimates are definitely in the favor of the Huskies. This could be a big brain play that's coming out from USS Robot. But it'll all just have to see how it pays out in hindsight. Big wall coming out. Immortality field down. Exo places out the Blizzard to zone out. And it pushes USS Robot into a position where they're not able to back up when they get frozen. But with both tanks down, Buzz Lightyear gets taken down. Waving, taking that win is so detrimental for the Titans. It's even though, as of right now, a 2-2 matchup. Make that 3-3 window coming out for Puppy Cat is going to be huge for the side of the Titans. If the Huskies cannot weather this storm, they could potentially lose this point. 0.16 meters remaining. We're back into overtime right now. Will the Titans be able to take this? There's no ultimates besides not Vapor. If not Vapor gets this Blizzard quicker, it could be a win. Not Vapor kills the tank from IWU Titans. The Blizzard is out. Not Vapor putting this game on their shoulders potentially for the side of the Huskies. A beat comes out to try and weather the storm further. Wavy taking out Buzz Lightyear is nothing but a scratch. This could be going the distance, folks. 1-2 right now. NNHS Huskies have taken their map in the grand finals. And now this is more than just a map that they took. This is momentum. We're talking, they are down right now, 2-1, but they were down 2-0. And every single map that we've seen them play, it's continually increased the level of play that we've seen come out from the Huskies. We need to see that also start coming out here from the Titans. It seems like the Huskies are really putting in a ton of work to make this possible. We have one of the players for the Huskies going, taking a quick bio right now. We're having a bio break coming out from both of these teams. We'll kind of break down some of the action that we had go out here. This is a map that, despite the matchup being entirely unexpected, this is also in just ridiculous scenario for the Huskies to be in general. The Huskies have been rolling and doing actually extremely consistent all day. I think this is the first time that we've seen the Huskies go into map 1 and then continually just start improving to the point where they're at right now. I also saw this last match come out where the Huskies, they already did take, I'm not sure if it was a reverse sweep, but they've taken 2-1s. They've done it a bit. Not to mention the resilience that's coming out from this squad. This is a loser's bracket run that they're doing. They had to play the first map, which was IWU's pick. And then from there, they had their pick. They didn't win the map. This is now their pick. They won the map. But as I said, prior to even coming into the match, if Huskies want to win this, they're going to be on the back foot for a couple of these maps. And if I'm IWU Titans, and I'm going to say this a little quietly, I'm trying to think of ways in which I can run a composition that might force IWU Titans into a situation where they are uncomfortable running with it. Now, we did just see that that was an escort map coming out. I believe that we have the next map as well, which is going to be Esperanza. All right. So this is going to be interesting. We have a push map coming out. As you just saw, the Huskies pretty solid on that rush comp. It seems to be the comp that's been working out the best for them. And now we're going on to these next two maps where you have a control map, you have a push map. Pretty much typically on both of these, you can expect to see, at least on one round within control and probably through all of push, you could try and expect to see some sort of rush comp coming out. So this is potentially within the wheelhouse of the Huskies. This could go the distance, folks. And even if you're just like looking at the score line here, you can see this could go the distance. Flashpoint wasn't necessarily as close as some of these last maps. The Kings Row map, everybody saw and everybody knew that that was the moment the Huskies started to catch up, and now the Huskies have lapped over the Titans in this grand finals. But they have to do it not just again, but they have to do it twice with the map pick going into the favor of the Titans. I think the big thing here comes, should this push not be won by the Titans, what do you want to go to control for? And just to kind of break down a little bit what maps you could potentially choose to see here on control, you could potentially see Nepal, Oasis, Busan, or Lijiang Tower. All of these maps have potential for a rush comp to be run on them and be run well on them. Potentially the map that could do the least, I mean, I can't even say which one does the least for that. Those four control maps are just so dead even, and I feel like something that we see on Flashpoint that comes out a lot is you see this kind of Queen rush that came out that from both of these teams on the first map. I don't necessarily think that's going to be just sort of the case as we kind of rode out here on to push. I can certainly see that the Huskies are able to hold their own on this rush comp when they play the Ramatra very, very, extremely well. So we'll see whether or not this Ramatra ends up getting wrapped back out or not. Wonderful things that we've been seeing so far here from all of these teams. I'm going to go ahead and I suppose while we have some time, I want to give big thank you to every team that has showed out today. We've had an incredible close amount of matches that were going on today and a lot of fun having Wald do it. Most particularly, we have rookie bracket matches that end up playing out to choose placement for it. We had some nice fun with some of our local teams playing a little bit of Ghost to determine the placement. It's we enjoy to have a good amount of fun here. So just enjoying ourselves. It seems like we're most likely going to get loaded into this map shortly. I'm peering nice and over to the NNHS Huskies map, and it looks like just like that, we've started loading on into the game. This is kind of, in my opinion, the make or break point for the Huskies. And that sounds a little silly considering it literally is, and in my opinion, figuratively is. It literally is because if they lose this map, they lose the tournament. In my opinion, it also figuratively is if they start off on the wrong foot coming out on this map, that they need to have some sort of grasp on momentum. I think within push, it's not going to be as tightly back and forth or as definitive as Rialto, where you had these comp switches that were consistently coming through from both of these teams. It's pretty much just going to be a rush. And that's exactly what we're going to be seeing here. But what is particularly interesting is that I feel like if you were the Huskies at this point, if you were the Titans at this point, you would have caught on to the fact the Huskies have this Ram rush down. Potentially, IWU Titans coming out here with this Queen to say, maybe we can't beat you necessarily in the mirror, which I think anybody's game, especially with these two teams, the mirror is anybody's game. But IWU Titans potentially feeling a little bit more comfortable not going out with the mirror here. And what's so interesting is that the Huskies are running a support hero that is so not necessarily unused right now, as Moira right now is actually in a fairly solid state in terms of Overwatch. But it's not typically used as well as a Baptiste or as a Kiriko. There's it's a little bit situational that you generally see this Moira come out, but the Huskies seem to want to make it a staple, and it's working for them. As of right now, though, we have Clonkpog that's falling with a wonderful pickoff to Kurzu, and this might actually be Titan's plan swinging out in full effect. The big thing that you get from the Queen that you don't get from the Ramattra is that you don't just get that speed boost from the Lucio when you time it, you get that extra speed, health, and anything else that you might get from the shout, given by the shout from Kurzeryu. So, if Kurzeryu can play around this shout, play around the fact that they understand they're just going to be faster than the Huskies, no matter what, then this could be an easy win here for the Titans, but I think the Huskies have started to take a really smart position here, taking this high ground. It seems like IWU have neglected this high ground, potentially an oversight from that USS Robot. Drops it potentially a little bit early there, though, within the fight. Suzu already forced out. So now the Huskies are going to try and disengage, TP out as Farmlab, and they swap off of this Moira, which seemed to be more of a comfort pick. Maybe not even potentially comfort pick for them, but just a pick that they were running on that was doing better for them than, say, the Kiriko. Now switching over to the Kiriko, potentially seeing the need for that, especially with the Junker Queen. Kiriko is extremely important when you're running against the Junker Queen. If you can negate the ultimate that comes out from the Queen, which is one of the strongest ultimates in the game, period. Just period. If you can negate that coming out, it could lead to incredible things from NNHS Huskies. USS Robot breaking out the Ramble, but Wavy takes out Buzz Lightyear. It's an even trade coming out. It seems like that damage resistance coupled with the beat is going to keep NNHS Huskies alive for now in this case. The Railgun is going to be put on the back burner here for Wavy, opting to disengage instead of take that fight head on. This is a good start here for the Huskies to start mounting their push forward, especially with Karmlev having that Kitsune rush online. This could mean that the IWU Titans actually lose the lead here, but it's going to have to be a well-timed ultimate from Karmlev, and they're going to have to weather this blade really well. Not Vapor falling, though, does not spell anything good, but Kurzeryu, unfortunately, not what you want whatsoever. The blade pops out. DP from the Kiri! I don't know if this blade is going to work out from Exo, but Wave is trying to bring it back in. And as I say that, these DPS are proving me wrong. IWU Titans taking out multiple members of the side of the NNHS Huskies, despite the fact that the Huskies had a solid ult bank advantage heading into that. It seems like they just didn't want to commit as hard into that fight, and it potentially could cost them coming into this, but two ultimates on the side of the Huskies. Pretty much what you have to worry about now is Buki going to get that beat in time to negate Buzz Lightyear or Karmlab ult. IWU Titans backing up here, potentially don't have cooldowns to be able to engage. They're actually just backing up simply because that Sojourn ult is going off on point. Kurzeryu trying to regain as much health as possible before engaging into here with the lane, overlapped over a lane, perpendicular lanes happening right on point, and this flank from Kurzeryu is forced to TP to come out from Karmlab. If Kiriko can be jumped on right now from, oh! I don't even need it! What is this ultimate from Kurzeryu? The beat from Clockpog will keep most of the members alive for the time being, but it was just a ticking time bomb. What a great ultimate from the Rampage. And I was saying earlier how when you have the Kiriko, it is for that. That is why you have the Kiriko on the side of the Huskies right now. And they're not necessarily, I don't think, doing worse with it. I think IWU are just doing incredible in terms of the positioning that they're consistently keeping. They're not giving the Huskies a place where they can feel stable on solid ground. They're consistently rotating. Kurzeryu is wrapping around the backside of the Huskies to try and get a flank off and force cooldowns from their Kiriko. We need to see more aggressive plays like this come out from the Huskies to force cooldowns out from the IWU Titans if they realistically want to keep pushing this cart even further. And it's their tournament life, so you know they want to. Ultimate online here for Wavy. Mookie's investing the beat to save Kurzu rather low. Mookie's beats have just been something legendary today, but with USS Robot taking out two of those members, it looks like it's actually going to be one of Mookie's beats that doesn't end up paying off as well as the rest of them have. Being able to save your tank player there in that fight so that you potentially don't lose it, I think is something that you want to try and invest. But now look at this from the Huskies side of things. They have tank ultimate. They have the Kiriko ultimate. How are you going to be able to sustain this with the Kiriko Lucio for the Iwu Titans? And we're about to see that right now. Karmlav, she pops that and is right now dealing a fair bit of damage over to the Iwu Titans squad. USS Robot popping the ram or pushing forward, surging forward as a matter of fact, taking out two members. Three members of Iwu Titans have now fallen, and it looks like the cap, otherwise lovingly known as the butt scratch, is coming out from the bot right now. And with this little bit of time that NNHS Huskies have to spend sitting on the cart, are Iwu Titans going to be able to even get a contest in the nick of time? There's just 3 minutes, 15 seconds. Exo takes out Vapor. Karmlav falls as well, and they just don't push the cart to where it needs to go. What a close stop there from NNHS Huskies. This is anybody's round so far, especially when the time the Iwu Titans get around to the cart point where they're at. Huskies are going to be there, and Huskies in fact aren't going to just be there, they're going to be there and they're going to be at choke. They're going to have high ground positioning. They're going to be set up in a favorable defensive position that Wavy's going to try and crack open right now. Their ultimate doesn't seem like it's going to be finding anything too worthwhile as I see that. The shot of the Karmlav is disgusting. Anti-nade also falls, not anti-nade, but Kurzu ultimate falls off on the multiple players on the side of the Huskies and really puts this into the favor of the Iwu Titans. Now this is not just one fight territory that the Huskies have to win. This is now multiple fights, at least two, that the Huskies have to take in order to still be in this tournament. Klongpog beat in tow. Mookie could potentially get that fast as well. We'll see what happens. Wonder if Puppy Cat's going to try and initiate here with this lane, and if Iwu are going to continue to try and pressure the Huskies. It actually looks like they're giving up a little bit more space. They're waiting for the Huskies to use ultimates of their own, so Iwu can start clapping right back. Either that, or they're waiting for this positional advantage to come out. Exo, though, not even caring about the ultimates that are going to come out, dashing right into their team. Both Lucio's out before a beat can even happen. Wavy taking out multiple players, and it continues to fall like dominoes as Iwu Titans have a lead here, 1:23 on the clock, and falling for both of these squads. This is the fight. These ultimates in this strict of a situation, the Huskies really need to figure out how they're going to use this ult economy to potentially be able to storm back. They cannot just use it all at once. Iwu Titans are going to read that. If multiple ults are used here from the Huskies, Titans can just hold on to theirs and they'll be fine. Wavy has to make a little bit of a... Ooh, that was a dicey one there. Exo taking out two players, both of the players fall from the Titans. They were... Sorry, from the Huskies, they weren't able to get the beat off! Exo getting the 4K, I believe, potentially a 5K on there. It just went by so fast, everybody. Now the Titans, which is one ultimate in tow, same here from the Huskies. If USS Robot can get a nice speed in here with Klongpog, it could just be dry fights throughout the rest of these maps. Look at this though. The Titans are so loose with the way that they play this push map, and I feel like a lot of teams can take notes from this. Playing this loose so that you have this high ground advantage, you have a very good positional advantage, you're not worrying too much about fighting a fight that you don't need to fight, they don't have the time to be able to fight it. Mookie also gets Klongpog, the Lucio duo going out, two players make that three down for the Huskies, the ultimate out from USS Robot, but it doesn't look like it's going to net them anything. I think that's it, everybody. We have done it, we have a winner. Iwu Titans take it 3-1. And what an insane match to come out. Not even just to mention that it's just like grand finals and they were close. To think that this was the seventh seeded team going up against number freaking one is crazy to think about. The style, the grace, the ult economy, the way that they were able to consistently layer over everything that they were doing and keep the comms up, as well as switching up compositions, is incredible. It- I I have no words. I could not be more proud of all of the teams that ended up coming out here today. It has been absolutely wonderful to get to be able to watch all of this action unfold live right before my very eyes. You can see we got some players coming over here, walking their handshakes right now. Great sportsmanship that we have going on here at Scrims Arena. And I think for now, that might do it for us. I wanted to thank some people though. Before we go ahead and take it on over to a break, let's go ahead and say some thank yous. Thank you very much to Jack for this coming on to broadcast. Thank you very much to Tengu for helping set this up. Thank you very much to Maggie, my co-TO, for doing all of this today. We might potentially be coming back here with an interview as well for the winners. Stay tuned, everybody. That could potentially be coming up. If it does not come up, though, I hope that all of you have a wonderful rest of your night, and I hope you've been able to see some wonderful Overwatch today. I know that we have. Thank you all for tuning in to Lakeside Showdown 5, and if we don't see you after this, have a wonderful weekend.
And we are back, everyone. Thank you for being so patient there. I am Captain Jack. Enjoy my little Halloween photo there, as I'm a little disheveled when I'm working the buttons behind the scenes, so was not prepared to be on camera today. But we do have coming from the Illinois Wesleyan Titans, we have the amazing Mookie. Mookie, how is the team feeling taking away its second championship title for Lakeside Showdown this weekend?
We're feeling pretty good. We expected to win, but it still felt good to win at the end.
Okay. Well, I mean, saying that you expected to win and seeing how the day actually came out, I feel like the team had to be at least a little nervous going into this last one. It was very dominant fashion all the way through the upper bracket. That you were sitting in the grand finals spot, but your opponents for this particular match, NNHS, decided to take the long way around, literally from the quarterfinals, taking every match in the lower bracket into their grasp, and were able to meet you back in the grand finals. How did it feel playing against a high school team that seems to have quite a bit of skill?
Actually, I used to play for Deerfield, and I beat this high school last year, so I know a couple of them, but
So there's
I knew that, like, yeah, but I knew that we were just getting tired, and we were a little trolly at the end because we were rolling a lot, but we decided to lock in because we needed this dub. I need this money, so
Gotcha. I mean, I did see discussions that there was going to be the 1v1 out in the back parking lot where I guess there's a basketball hoop. Is that still going for the 500, or are we just going to let the match decide that?
Yeah, I mean, we'll take him to the court too. Like we're pretty tall, but I'm fine with showing around the game though.
Well, I think the big question that we kind of all have is looking at how things were going. You're right. It was relatively, I wouldn't say that it was a dominant match per se, but it definitely was one-sided during the first half. You were able to take Kings Row as well as Saravasa pretty handedly. But then going into Rialto, things started to skew a little bit. Y'all ended up getting in to point 3 with just a little under 4 minutes on the clock, and NNHS almost ended up getting in above 4 minutes. How was the team feeling with that kind of pressure on that they were looking to steamroll you harder there?
Yeah, I feel like the struggle from that map mainly came from the comps that we chose. We decided to go for like a more pokey style, and we like haven't really scrimmed that map recently, so we kind of just went with what we did in the past. But obviously it's like a hard ram meta, so they just caught us off guard with that. Like, we didn't expect to get beat by that so badly, but after that we were like, let's just play our comfort and our strengths, so we brought it back next map.
Yeah, speaking of that map going into Esperanza, we ended up seeing kind of this Junker Queen comp, which, to be completely honest with you, you've been talking about the meta. We haven't seen Junker Queen really getting a whole lot of value until recently, just because of how this new kind of in-your-face brawl is coming back into the forefront. How did it feel? Like, is that something that you all scrim a lot, or was it kind of like just kind of throw it at the wall and see if we can make this stick?
We scrimmed Queen against Ram on that map specifically, so we were comfortable with that matchup, but we were also comfortable with the mirror. So we decided to bring a Desperanza and just use our Queen comp that we were so confident on in our scrims that we've been rolling on scrims with that. So we brought it there.
Hey, well, at the end of the day, you did end up taking home the dub. Mookie, thank you so much for spending some time with me here. And I hope that you enjoyed your time at the arena. Wish I could have been there to say congratulations in person. But I want to give you a chance to shout out anyone that you would like, friends or family, fellow teammates, coaches, or whoever, for your victory today.
Yeah, I wanted to say thank you for having us today and organizing this tournament. And also I'd like to shout out my mom and dad and my best friend James. He's the reason I'm here right now. So
Aw.
those are my shout outs.
Nice. Well, we appreciate you taking the time to talk with us. I'm going to go ahead and send you back to your team so that you can enjoy the rest of your evening.
Yeah, have a good night, bro.
You as well. And that is
Nice.
going to be it from us here at Lakeside Showdown number 5. We had League yesterday, Overwatch today, and one more game remains. Be sure to join us right here next Saturday, where we'll be bringing you our Valorant championships to see which team of agents is going to be able to be crowned the king of the court. Until then, my name's Captain Jack. Thank you so much from all of us here at Kaiju Corp and Revolution Gaming, and we'll see y'all next time. All right, we're good to go.